Bourbon Barkeep, my name's Curtis. You have tuned into a House Call Wednesday. If this is your first House Call Wednesday, you could be in for a treat because I don't know what's in front of me. We got a randomizer, pour them up, no labels, no proof, just going in blind. Maybe the way God intended. I don't know what intrigued you about this matchup. I guess probably the thumbnail. I don't know what I'm in for. If you skip the intro, we just rip away the labels and say, is the juice good? Do some scoring at the end, and then do grand reveal to just this guy. So without further ado, like, subscribe. We'll get that in early, and nosing. That's what we'll do. So thanks for tuning in again. A lot of sweetness, a lot of fruit. I would go vanilla. I was trying to figure out, do I want to go like a candied vanilla? Because the sweetness is ramped up here. A lot of orange, maraschino cherry, and a lot of orange. Let's dive back in. There's traditional notes. This one, I'm having a tough time even finding caramel. This is honey. I mean, you're stirring in that honey and vanilla together. Whip that baby up. Throw some orange in there because that's very there as well. A little bit of oak, nice sweet oak overall. Pleasantly surprised. Definitely something you could really dive into. But we'll give it one more. See what we got on the palate. Seems like I'm just going to keep naming fruits. Maybe we're just testing my fruit knowledge at this point. But that red apple and it's still going kind of that maraschino, that bright red cherry, a little peach in there. Not getting a ton of spice, not a bad thing. If I got anything, maybe a little nutmeg in there, which who's going to turn down some nutmeg, am I right? Let's get on the palate, see what we're working with, because I mean, I enjoy a good nose and a few aspects of life, to be fair, but palate does count a bit more. So cheers. That's not bad, not going to lie to you. Pretty sweet. Those fruits are continuing to roar forward at this point. But experience-wise, first sip can be a liar, to be fair. But I'll at least hedge my bets and go 100 and under for now. Guessing proof isn't necessarily trying to sound smart, because that can backfire, and it has many, many times at this point. It ultimately, I'm trying to translate kind of the experience, and proof, I feel like, translates the experience well, at least. So when you're talking about under that 100 proof, you're not expecting this super long finish. I would say 7 times out of 10, I'm not expecting a great mouthfeel, to be fair. This one, very oily. I mean, coats the mouth very well for something that I think is at least low proof. But it hangs around, makes the mouth water. In terms of what's on the palate, I'm just going to stick with kind of what that nose was, to be fair. I don't think there was much that came out, at least on the palate. So that honey, this nice vanilla syrup, if you will, definitely on that tip of the tongue. And then as it starts to develop in that mid and back palate, you're into still that red apple, this nice cherry. Orange, I feel like, is a little more pronounced. But ultimately, it's delightful. I would venture to say crushable, but we're going to be adults and responsible. So we're going to sip this like a critic and professional reviewer that you are expecting to see. Sip 2. I'm going to put the cards on the table. I'm going to be judged for this one, but we'll see how it goes. Have you ever had an orange creamsicle and then just left it in the bowl? Why you had a bowl for a popsicle, I'm not really sure, but we did. And then you just let it melt. Kind of is like that. And I think that's a good thing. I mean, you're talking like this nice vanilla ice cream, great orange flavoring, probably. But ultimately, the oiliness and that kind of thickness of this melted popsicle was kind of great. At least what's kind of hanging on the palate, that's when kind of this nice kind of cakiness comes out. Once again, this is going to be sweet all the way through at this point. If there is any spice, I'm not picking it up. I don't know. Maybe it's the lower proof to where I'm like, just not feeling it. terms of what's on my mouth. But this is fruit and honey and like this nice kind of vanilla cake. It's bright, it's highly enjoyable, and something that if you needed to, put a little flask in the pocket and you're in that outdoor wedding in June and you're like, boy, I must really enjoy this guy because I'm sweating my butt off right now. You do a little sippy sip of the flask. Apparently there's a straw or a Capri Sun. You just filled it with this. Yeah, that was a weird scenario, but someone out there has done it or is following. So, not alone. We got glass B. We'll see. I don't know. I was hoping something clever, but not in the game, so we're just going to roll with it. Something popped in. Before it comes out of my mouth, we're going to make sure. All right, we'll start with the positives. I'm going to go apple chips. Red apple chips, still this nice sweetness on it. What initially popped in, and it's still there. This is like going into, what's a good one? We'll just go with a library. Just a fancy library. Maybe like even like Harry Potter's library, where you have really old books. Some are wrapped in like human skin, but details. This one, coming off a very old book, oddly enough, not off-putting. Not something I gravitate towards, but makes me feel refined. So we'll see if that continues. Coming off of what Glass A was, the treat dessert experience that it was, it's a tough ride. I'm not going to lie to you. Not that I'm not enjoying it, but ultimately this one is so much earthy that outside of those apple chips, it's going to be a struggle to figure out what else is in here. You have your leather, that is for sure. I don't know if it's next to the human skin book or not, but we shall see. And just an earthiness. There's like this kind of damp basement. You left a book down there, apparently 3 or 4 books, and you need them. You go down there and you're like, I knew I would need this. Why did I hide it down here? And of course, the basement just flooded. Needless to say, the nose is fine. Let's get on the palate and see. Oh, wow, that's a wave of emotions. All right, front to mid palate wasn't bad. Vanilla, caramel, a little light brown sugar in there, if you will. But boy, that back palate, that floods with like a salted caramel, peanut, leather. Wow. That's earthy. That's a lot of earth. A lot of earth. Okay. Coming off of what Glass A was, that probably made it a little more earthy, but boy, that is a ride. So sip 1, we've said, can be a liar. We're going to do sip 2. We'll pull something out with rose-colored glasses on. Sip 2, more enjoyable, still a wild experience. That front to mid, really sweet, enjoyable, maybe like a sugar cookie, maybe like a vanilla frosted sugar cookie, so you still have kind of this graininess, if you will. And I'm still going leather, salted caramel. Old books kind of hangs around on the palate, which there's not a ton of pours that I have, at least, that have old books. So when you're wanting that by the fire, read a book, and you want to taste it too, this is going to be right there. This is what I'm pulling, that's for sure. Yeah, there's just a graininess to it, like a pancake batter, but not cooked yet. Or maybe you did, but the middle is still raw. And you're like, we're not serving that. Not serving that. I mean, my kids barely eat mac and cheese at this point. They're certainly not eating raw pancake batter, so got that going for us. Anyways, we're going to do a quick revisit, bounce back and forth between A and B, do some scoring, do some more scoring for bang for the buck. We reveal a little price action, and then we do a reveal to this guy. See how dumb I am. It's fun. That's a tough bounce back and forth. I mean, going that sweet to that earth. I don't know why. It's like Jekyll and Hyde at this point. Glass A, sweet through and through. I want it near a pool. I want it with my feet in the pool. I want it when I mow. Any of it. I want that. It's good. Very good. We don't know what the price is. Hopefully it is on the lower side. There is not a lot of complexity with it being potentially a lower proof. You know, you hope price is on your side, but ultimately it is pretty enjoyable. Glass B, complexity is there. I mean, if you're going earth and a little complexity, this will be here for you. And it's definitely not bad. Both of these pretty thin. Now we're going to dive into wave one of our scoring. We got our senses categories. Oddly enough, this one is probably the easiest, the most straightforward to actually score. Yes, it does boil down to preference. That's why I try and give the tasty notes or experience that I'm experiencing. Because you may love the one that I'm not picking. That's great. Great for you. Especially if price is on your side. Rooting for it. But ultimately, Glass A, it's good. It's pleasurable. It is pretty good. I'm going to go 74. I really actually admired the oiliness, the sweetness. I could see getting a little old, to be fair. I don't think I'm reaching for it at night by any means. But ultimately, what's in the glass, really good. Glass B, I did not enjoy it. I don't want it to come across like that. Scoring wise, it's pleasurable. It's just not really where I'm at. I tend to go maybe like a pie if you're new to the channel. I love that nice baking spice. Give me that fruit in there. Or even like a candy bar. Give me that chocolate. Little nuttiness, which was kind of here on the back end. But there was no chocolate. No nougat. Love that nougat. But Class B, it was good. I could see a place for it. Just a little thin. A little thin. We'll go 64. I understand if you're in report card world, you're probably getting beat. I get it. But ultimately, it's pleasurable. And sometimes that's the best compliment you can get on some nights, if you know what I mean. Now, we're going to dive into a little bang for the buck scoring. But first, I got to do my price reveal. So I got my Google Forms over here. That's why I try and avoid the eye contact, because the laptop's right here. It's blind for a reason. What are we trying to cheat for? But ultimately, I'm going to reveal the price of Glass A, Glass B, and then do a label bottle review. So we got Glass A coming in at $40. Let's go. Glass B at $50. That's a shame. That's a real shame. Okay, Glass A, I wouldn't pay that far above $40. If you told me it was $50, I'd say okay. I get it. But great value at $40. We'll go 74. I think I just need to look inside and just be better with bang for the buck scoring. And it shouldn't be how much more am I willing to pay, but what am I getting at that price point? It's just tough. Sometimes it's mood too, you know? Man, this is why these episodes run long. All right, $50, appropriately priced. It's good. If you want that earth, if you want that book, you're pumped. But for me, at least 50, we'll just go 55. I wouldn't pay above it, but 50, it's a good pour. There's worse pours. There's worse pours at $70 at this point. So now, we got our total scores. I flash them up sooner or later. Sometimes that's mood too. But ultimately, we got to do a bottle review. See what did we learn. All right. Click our drop down. Glass A, Penelope Wheated. Glass B, 1792 Sweet Wheat. Man. Sweet Wheat, not a great showing on this channel. Do they just not make a lot and that's why you can't find it? because Penelope weeded everywhere. It is new everywhere. That is dynamite. I guess you gotta like sweet. That's sweet wheat. All right. Well, if we're talking about something heavily allocated in sweet wheat, or they just don't make enough, I don't have a substitute for you. I don't think that's what we were going for, but there's not going to be many matchups. I feel like Penelope weeded will lose when you're talking 50 and under at this point. Dynamite pour, great value. Love it. Love it. Thanks for tuning in. Love you all. Let's give that shout out. Like, subscribe, and we'll see what next House Call Wednesday has for us.